Hello and welcome to this quick tutorial on creating employment agreements in the Employer's Toolbox for Skids franchises. So here we are already logged in to a sample Skids account, and what we'll do, we'll go straight to the Agreements tab to create a new agreement, and you'll be presented with the two templates that we provide, a casual and a permanent. Any saved agreements that you've already created will appear down at the bottom here, unless you've already linked them to staff files. So what we'll do, we'll just click on the Skids permanent template to create a new agreement. You're faced with the question to use the wizard or the standard builder. We'll use the wizard, and we'll mention standard in a moment. So what happens now, it creates a new agreement based on that template you used and saves it. Here now we get presented with a standard wizard type interface, next, back, a progress bar at the bottom there, and we'll just go next to make a start. So firstly, we're presented with a question on the period of assessment. This is actually the only question you're going to be presented with for a permanent agreement. All other clause options have already been predetermined by Skids, and to save you time, the option here is to use either the 90-day trial period or a traditional probationary period. Two options, and all you do is select one or the other. The answer is based on your staff numbers. If you are 19 staff or less, you'll be using a 90-day trial period. Any more than that will be a probationary period. There's a help note if you scroll down, which discusses the pros and cons, but that's essentially it. I'll select 90-day trial period and just go next. So here we are now at Schedule 1 Statement of Personal Terms. You'll notice the progress bar has jumped to 60%. That's simply because all the hard work's already been done for you. And now all we have to do is fill in the Schedule 1, which is the terms and conditions of employment and details around your practice. So we'll just go next. And basically we step through a whole bunch of questions which you need to complete. So here we are, role reports 2. There's a little help note here if you need it. You type your answers directly into this box here. Below there are examples, which are very often exactly what we're expecting to see. So in this case, you can click on these little arrow there and it'll appear in the box there. So we won't waste too much time going through every question, but let's just skip through. So the next one is notice period. You see there's a couple of examples there. You can pick which one you like. This one particularly says mandatory for the agreement. Consider them all mandatory. They all need to be filled in. If not, you should be wondering why. They're in there for a reason. We'll just breeze through them. It's not going to force us into anything, but for the sake of this, we'll just go through. So now we get asked for party information. So by default, your entity name should be loaded here. If that's incorrect, you'll need to get in touch with us to change that. That comes from what we have loaded this end for you. The name of the other party or candidate, we'll just fill that in. Now, link to staff button, leave that at this stage because we haven't got the person loaded in our staff database, so we'll just leave that. The agreement description is just for your own reference, so you can put whatever you like there. And we go next. And the final step is the job description. The job description appears as a schedule in the agreement, and by default we have Skids Program Assistant loaded. Now you can type directly into the text here if you need to, and you actually get the 3 job descriptions from Skids. If you need to reload or change them, just go to Get JD, click that, and then they're already loaded in your saved jobs. Program Manager, Program Assistant, and Assistant Program Manager. So you can just click Use on any one of those to pop that in instead. Entirely up to you. And we'll just click Finish. So what's happened now is that the wizard has finished and it's dropped us out into the standard builder on the finish page. So what you can see here is your finished agreement in preview mode, if you like. So you can't actually type on it or do anything at this point apart from view it. So there it is, all put together, parties, clauses, and we'll scroll right down to the end. You'll get your schedules. So because we skipped through all the questions on the wizard, we've only got the couple that we actually filled in, so usually that would be a lot longer than that. A couple of other standard clauses, the ERA problem, relationship problem clause, authorized deductions, and the job description. Okay, so back up at the top here, there's some options here, good to know. You can download to a Microsoft Word file. That would only be if you wanted to customize the look and feel of it for yourself. You shouldn't be sending out Word documents. PDF, if you want to email it, use that. But our recommendation is that you e-sign documents, and we'll go through that in another video for you. So at this stage, your agreement is essentially finished and saved. So at any point, you can come back in and come to this point again. So if I just click on agreements at the top again, brings us back to the agreement homepage. You can see down the bottom here, now we've got one saved agreement, which is the one you've been working on. So again, you can see those 3 options to export and process the document: Word, PDF, and e-sign. You can also delete it as well. But you can at any point just click on it to go back into it. This time you're working with the standard builder, not the wizard, and it's set out slightly differently. You have your party screen, your clauses, your schedules, and the preview. Now you can click on these just to go directly to that stage, or you can use your back and next buttons. Now the clauses for Skid franchises are generally grayed out because they're already predetermined. The only one was that period of assessment, so you can always click on it to go back into it in our standard format. Schedules as well, you can go there, and if there's something about the statement of personal terms or the others, the job description, whatever, that you didn't like or you want to come back to, you simply come here, click on it to edit. You can type directly in the screen here, or you have access to that schedule of personal terms wizard. Again, looks slightly different, but essentially goes through exactly what you went through on the wizard before. Slightly different layout, that's all. So you can just go through that. Okay. The only other thing to mention is that linking to a staff member. So back on the parties screen, there it is again, link to staff. So at this stage, this agreement is unlinked and it's saved under the agreements tab. If we link that to a staff member, so I've got one staff member loaded there. If we select Simon, link it, save it. If we go to the agreements tab now, it'll be missing. 0 saved agreements. That's because it's on his staff member record. So to open it again, we'll have to go to dashboard, staff, there's Simon, and it will be one of Simon's documents. There it is there. And in a similar ilk, we simply click on it to reopen it, to edit, or we have the usual export options and of course delete. So as I say, there's another video on e-signing, which is our recommended way of delivering these agreements, including letters of offer and code of conduct. So that's in another video. Thank you for listening.